This is the epicenter of audio frequency entertainment.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Can't get enough of it.
Oh, yeah. You guys are the best.
Heffron and Reep.
I love you, love you, love you.
The Heffron and Reep Show.
You enjoy the Heffron and Reep podcast. Now go and see them live. It's really super awesome. And here's the reason why. You've seen them on TV and even in the movies. Yeah, they really are so good. They can even afford this song. Check out the tour dates at heffronandreep.com.
That's right, yes. Come see us live. I love that song. You can see John Heffron December 28th through 31st at West Nyack, New York, at Levity Live. And then in January 10 through 13 at the Chicago Improv. And 17 through 20 at the Columbus, Ohio Funny Bone. And the 24th through the 26th, he'll be in Erie, Pennsylvania at Juniors or JR's? Juniors. Last Laugh Comedy Club. And then the 26th through February 2nd, he will be in my neck of the woods, Charlotte, North Carolina, at Night Theater at Levine Center for the Arts. I think that's right.
That's right. If you want to go see John Reep, and seriously, why would you not?
Exactly.
Why would you just spend another Friday or Saturday sitting home, just, having somebody in your house complaining about something? That's what people don't realize. If you go out to comedy clubs, that's at least an hour and a half to 2 hours where you don't have to tolerate the person you live with.
That's right. You can
That's
just
why
be
more
quiet.
people should go to movies, and then that way they can just sit with the person and just ride out the time till we all die.
There you go.
John
Now
Reep,
read my dates.
December 31st will be in Bellevue, Washington at Parlor Live. Great club. It's really it's high tech. It's
Taking my wife to that one. It's a great club.
It's a great club.
She's going to love it.
The staff there's cool. The guy have great food. Go see Reep on the 31st. And January 9th through the 12th will be at Denver Comedy Works South.
Right. That's also in a very cool area. Not downtown. This one's Landmark, they call it.
Great.
And it's a
and
whole
they have great
little area
breakfast there, by the way. The
Yeah.
breakfast that they have at that place is unbelievable. And January 17th through the 19th, John Reep will be in Dallas. So if you listen to us in Dallas, January 17th through the 19th, go check out Reep at Hyenas. And ending off next month, January 24th through the 26th, Reep will be seen at Jacksonville, Florida at the Comedy Zone.
Oh, it's the Heffron and Reep game time. Whoa, it's the Heffron and Reep game time.
It's the Heffron and Reep Show trivia game. Yeah, the Heffron and Reep Show trivia game. They decided the stories they had were kind of lame. Yeah, the stories they had were kind of lame. So sit back and guess the answers with each of the Johns. You can get more smarter with You Get Your Learning On. It's the Heffron and Reep Show trivia game. Yeah, the Heffron and Reep Show trivia game.
All right, that's true. We did run out of stuff to say, and we thought, I like that jingle.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that that jingle for the Heffron and Reep trivia game will be in your head like all day long.
Yeah, it's very catching. And where
a good
did you
song.
find that guy?
I got that website where people will do almost anything for just a few bucks.
That's crazy. So you never met him? You just said, here.
I paid him $5.
I love that.
That's the kind of money we spend on this thing.
That's right. Well, we gotta save money for Wounded Warriors, so we don't want to spend money on other things.
All right, so here's the deal. There's a lot of podcasts that I think a lot of the comics have podcasts just to prove how smart they are.
Well, okay, well,
you know what I mean? They start talking about like all the books they read and just all that type of stuff where we go, oh, those guys are really smart. Yeah. Well, what we decided to do is we decided to have a trivia game to make you feel smarter when you see how dumb we are.
Yeah.
So instead of us trying to let you know how smart we are, we're just going to be ourselves, and you're going to be able to get these trivia questions quicker than us, and it makes you feel better.
I've never liked comedians that do that on stage too, like ones that
just here's some facts and here's how it should be.
Yeah,
that,
I mean, like when you
I've just never been good
comedy,
at that type of comedy.
That's true, but I don't laugh at that. Like, I just think, well, you're on stage. You're supposed to make me laugh.
Here's
and
my
I have to
philosophy.
like you, and if I don't like that person, if you're talking down to me on stage, then I already don't like you. Odds are I'm not going to laugh at you.
There's two different types of comics. There's the here's how it should be,
Right.
and then there's the I don't know how it should be. I enjoy being the I don't know how it should be.
Yeah.
I enjoy being the guy without the answers.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I am,
It
too.
just is my style.
Yeah.
But like I said, I can't, me not smarter.
Let's play this game. What you got, man?
So this one, I'm going to go through because I like these. I'm going to go through. I'm going to give you clues.
All right.
I'm going to start with a tough clue. That's going to be number 10, and we're going to go all the way down to 1, and we're going to see how fast you can get it.
Okay. Are we doing this to music again? Like,
There's all the stuff, yeah. So,
Okay.
so act like that it's really intense. Do
all right. It will be. I'm already nervous.
you want to guess how many you're going to get this clue in?
I'm going to guess I get this clue, and this is a person, place, or thing, probably, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to guess that I get this clue in. You're going 10 to 1?
10. 10's almost tough. You get it on 10, you're pretty
Okay.
impressive.
I'm going to get it on 7.
All right, here we go. Listen along
That's
and
pretty cocky,
see
right?
if you're smarter than John Reep.
Okay.
If you can get it quicker than John Reep.
All right.
I'm going to start giving you questions. We're going to go all the way down.
All right.
You know what? Maybe for this one, we won't figure out who we do have to. Here's what we got to do. We got to get a dinger. So you go ding, I know it.
Right.
And you have to play against somebody.
Okay.
Like a timer or something. But that's for the next podcast.
All right.
You have any
Right
suggestions?
now, I'm playing against the listener.
We're just playing. We're just sitting around and
All
see
right.
how fast you can get it. Ready?
Okay.
Here we go. First clue of this person, place, or thing. Don't look at my card, John Reep.
I'm not looking.
I know, he does.
I don't
You
cheat.
totally looked. Ready? Here we
Get
go.
out of here, wife.
It generates $1.4 billion in sales a year.
Oil.
You're wrong. It can be produced from recycled and environmentally friendly components.
It can be. Read that again. It can be produced
From
reproduced.
recycled and environmentally friendly components.
Just, God. Plastic?
How about that? Oh, you know how we played this at home, by the way? Not to stop the flow that we had going here.
Uh-huh.
On this real game when we played at our house, if you
Right.
guessed the wrong,
Yeah.
you lost 5 points.
Oh, I see.
So that adds a little bit of a thing. So
right now,
So we always play for Wounded Warriors. We have our swearjarfun.com where while we're playing, so every clue you get wrong.
you want to say that's instead of 5 points, that's $5?
Yeah, so that's
All right.
going to throw you randomly guessing. So sometimes you have to hold off, even if you think you know it.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? That makes
so
it a
every
little bit
one I
difficult.
get wrong is $5 to the Wounded Warriors.
Yes,
Gotcha.
if you want to guess. So sometimes you might have to hold on to it now.
I mean, I'm the only one guessing, so I have to guess, right?
You don't have to guess every time. You could say, I need another clue.
Oh, I see.
Do you know what I mean?
I didn't know that. I thght you had
Well, we're
to-
making this up as we go.
Okay.
Is that how you want to play? So maybe that's how I say, go, I need another clue.
I need another clue. All right, I like that. Well,
Or do you want another phrase to do?
I kind of like guessing each time. I mean,
Okay, so we won't penalize you for the wrong guess.
well, you can still penalize
But
me,
that's going to be...
get it wrong every time.
Do you want to do $1
It
then?
adds
Not
up.
$5?
Let's do $1.
Okay.
I just got spending
No way.
a lot of money on Christmas.
Okay, here we go.
Wait, did I get plastic right or wrong?
You're wrong.
Okay, dang it.
So far, that's $4 to Wounded Warriors.
You said it's $1.
For every clue I give you, it costs you $1.
And then
And
when I
every
get
guess,
wrong. Okay.
that's what I mean. So if you want to guess,
Yeah. I'm in the whole $4. Let's keep going.
I'm confused, as are the people listening. So let's just go. Already, here's the thing. So it generates $1.4 billion in sales.
Yeah.
It can be produced from recycled and environmentally friendly components. Here's 3. It was produced in 1879, but marketed under a private label due to awkwardness of the topic.
What? All right, I'm thinking too generic then.
I'll read the question 8 again. It was produced in 1879, but marketed under a private label due to awkwardness of the topic.
The topic?
Yeah.
Makes it sound like it might be a magazine. The topic. Well, it's a lot of money. 1879. When was the printing press invented? I don't know. I should know this. It was Eli Whitney. It was a long time ago. I was a communication major. Hello.
Do you have an answer, John Reap?
I'm gonna.
Or do we move?
Magazine. Is it a magazine?
Wrong. We need a phrase too when you have to move on. Like move on. Like okay.
A noise or a
go. I need another clue. I'm a dumbass.
I need another clue. I'm a dumbass.
Okay, here we go. The following item was used before production of its existed. Right? The following items were used before production of it existed. So these items were used before the thing I'm trying to sell.
Okay.
Sheep's wool, the frayed end of old anchor cables. What?
Okay.
Corn cobs, coconut shells, and lace. Are you kidding me?
Do you know what it is?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I didn't know what that stuff.
You're looking at it, and you're
all
saying,
of that stuff would suck.
Me? All that is in this product, though.
No, all that was used before this product was invented.
So none of that shit has anything to do with what we're talking about, possibly.
Well, it does because it was used prior to this thing.
It was used prior to this thing we're talking about, but it's not.
The following items,
but it's not made up of those items, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Fire. Well, how come fire is not on there?
Okay.
Where's the fucking wheel?
All right, next question.
No, I didn't guess.
Okay, the following items were used before production of it existed.
Frayed anchor cables.
Corn cobs.
Corn cob wool.
Coconut shells. Lace. Sheep's wool.
Well, lots of things were used in a generic way before this product existed. That was my point. Like, where's the wheel? Where's fire? You know, like, where's caveman writing on walls? Okay, listen, I'll give you a guess because I don't mind giving money to the Wounded Warriors. I know I'm going to get it wrong. Well, God damn, I have no
We're moving on to question number 6.
I don't know. Just keep going.
We've ran out of time. Here we go. The military used it to camouflage their tanks in Saudi Arabia during the Desert Storm War.
They used, okay, so some sort of canvas?
I've decided to no longer give any clues. I stare at you now while you're trying to figure it out.
They used... God, I'm sound like a real idiot. Is this something easy? Never mind. Don't talk to me. It is. I'm just gonna guess here. It's a tarp.
Clue number 5.
Jesus.
It is available in a variety of colors, decorations, and textures. Maybe I need to.
Also, a tarp is that. It was used to cover up tanks.
Maybe we do these speed rounds.
All right, keep going. I don't know.
Clue 4. On average, consumers use 8.6 units per trip, a total of 57 units per day.
Units?
I'm just reading the card, man.
Keep going.
The major producers of it are Kimberly-Clark and Procter & Gamble.
Okay, Procter & Gamble, that is a medical company, I think. Am I right? You can't tell me. They used it to cover tanks? God, I don't know. Keep going. I'm pissed off.
Typical advertising for it uses adjectives such as soft, strong, and most absorbent.
Is it a sponge?
You are incorrect with the sponge. Are you ready for your last and final clue?
I guessed 7. Remember that? Remember those days? All right, keep going.
Your last and final clue.
Yeah.
It comes in 1, 2, or 3 ply.
Paper towels?
No.
Toilet paper.
Yes. Toilet paper is the answer.
Give me that. I got to go back and look at some of these. The military used it to camouflage their tanks in Saudi Arabia. Okay. The following items were used before production of this existed. Oh, okay. I see. They didn't make... Okay. Damn it.
But they used to use corn... They used to use corn stalks?
Yeah, I've actually heard that. Instead of toilet paper, before toilet paper was invented, they would use corn on the cob. After you would eat the corn, you'd
use the
ear
stalks
of the corn, Yeah, it just makes like a natural sort of wiping thing. I gotta try
Water,
that.
just like bidets, are actually such the best way to go when it comes to toilet paper, where you use no toilet paper at all.
But
It's
see, that
just
seems
shooting
like-
water up there
I bet you it's
and
a lot-
rinsing it all off.
a lot
is
cleaner, but then you got to be pretty accurate with your aim on that thing. Right?
Worst case, you get your balls a little shockered.
Here's one I didn't know. How would you like to wipe your ass with the frayed end of an old anchor cable?
Yeah, seriously.
No, I mean that. Talk about pain. That sounds like torture to me. That's got to be hard. All right,
I'm gonna try one more.
that's embarrassing, dude.
We did get a new intro, so we should maybe do one. Now we can
do
do
you want
old
me to
school.
do it to you? Or do
No,
you
because
already
I know
all
other
these?
things.
Okay,
We could do. Which card do you want?
I get to pick a card.
Well, we have the same game, or we have our old school game where you have to pick A or B. I like
Let's
the
do
game.
the same game because
Okay.
I want to redeem myself.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Person, place, or thing. I'm going to guess. This is a dog toy.
Here we go. With
I was wrong.
clue number 10.
Okay.
His professional career spanned from 1978 to 1999.
His professional career spanned from 1978 to 1999.
Yes.
1978 to 1999. It's an athlete.
You ready for clue number 9?
Yeah, I'm ready for clue number 9.
Although his speed and skill were not up to par with his teammates, his ability to read the game and predict plays made him a star.
It's a football player. I mean, you can give me that. No, I guess you wouldn't. Okay.
No.
Keep going, please. Next clue, please.
Eventually, a specific setup of plays was named after him.
A specific setup of plays was named after him. Specific setup of plays, like the okay.
It's
this
the
is
alley-oop,
right.
but that's not.
Right.
That's
It's
not him.
not the same sport. It's still football, I'm guessing. It's like a coach, probably. All right, keep going.
Moving on to 7. After his retirement in 1999, he was immediately introduced into the Sports Hall of Fame.
Bobby Knight?
Wrong. Question
Go.
6. At the time of his retirement, he held 40 regular season records, 15 playoff records, and 6 All-Star records.
All-Star. This is baseball. Let's see. God, I don't know anything about baseball. Retired in 1999. Is this, God, I don't know this dude's name. He played for the Orioles. The guy who had the longest streak of starting. God, what's his stupid name?
Moving on to question 5.
Keep going.
In 2000, he became part owner of the Phoenix Coyotes. We have a lot of listeners in Phoenix area that are right now just screaming.
I don't even know what the Coyotes
Yeah.
are. I'm sorry, Phoenix. I haven't been there in a while. What are the Phoenix Coyotes?
Well, I got to say,
Keep going. You got to say what?
being from where I'm from, it's always funny when these type of areas have this type of sport.
It's probably baseball. Oh, this type of sports. Funny
I
to you.
see, I strayed. I'm a bad commentator.
This
I
is
should
hockey
not
now.
even given you that
This is hockey.
much thing. Here's number 4.
No.
He was taught the sport by his father on a rink nicknamed Wally Coliseum.
The calcium? Are you saying that right?
Coliseum.
Coliseum.
Yeah.
You said calcium. All right. That's what I heard anyway. I'm sorry. Okay. So Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky.
You are correct.
Woo!
You are correct. You got that one with 3 questions left.
Wow.
He was nicknamed the Great One.
Yeah.
His jersey number 99
I
was
wonder what
retired by
those-
all teams in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
I would
fun
like
game,
to
by the
know
way.
what those specific set of plays were called. Named after, but just called the Gretzky, maybe?
Probably.
Interesting. I don't know much about hockey. You probably know more than me because you grew up in a
I don't know.
a
That one I
cold
would have been
area.
able to guess. And if you would have listened to me, I said he retired in 1999. Like, if
Right.
we had telepathy. If you were in tune with me, John Reep, if you just knew how I was feeling, and if you were in tune with me, you would know that I was trying to give you clues for
Even though-
1999.
but even
all
though
right?
you said-
That just shows you how much more I'm in tune with you than you are with me. To the fact that you just don't get it.
I don't-
That was...
Wait, well, I have to say something.
Okay.
How do you get What kind of clue is 1999 to Wayne Gretzky if you don't know hockey?
His number was 99.
I didn't know his number. I didn't know his number. That doesn't mean I'm not in tune with you. It means I don't know Wayne Gretzky or hockey. So take that back.
I take it back. That was...
Oh, it's the Heffron and Reep game time. Whoa, it's the Heffron and Reep game time.
Heffron and Reep. Subject change.
Okay, yes, it is official. I guess I'm an idiot.
These games are hard, actually.
It's good to see you again, buddy. It's been a while since our last podcast was put up, and that's because we've been pretty busy with our other lives, our families, our wives, and the holidays. I like to say Christmas because that's what it is.
Yeah.
That I celebrate anyway. So, how was your Christmas, buddy?
It was good.
Anything
I think
crazy?
on one of our past episodes, shameless plug, where you can always get, if you go back to heffronandreep.com, I was told by somebody that we should plug past episodes to get people to go back and listen to some of the stuff, maybe if they're new to the podcast.
That's a good point.
That
We
they
got
should
some,
go back.
There's some old gold that people need to go dig up.
There's some good stuff there. So we were talking about budgets. I completely blew past my Christmas budget.
You had a limit.
Yeah, because I didn't think, I would hear stories from my wife. She's like, well, I got you this. And she would get all, heartfelt-y type stuff, really going, oh, he really needs this.
Yeah.
Where I'm like a guy, I just go for, let's buy something expensive, and that'll count. Does that make sense?
For her, you mean?
Yeah.
So that's how you approach your
she
gifts
got, 3
for her.
Christmases. So I'd buy one thing, and then I'd go, I don't know if that's, personal enough, and then I'd get something else. So she did well.
Oh, she did well.
She did well.
So she did well in the terms of the gifts that she got or the gifts that she gave you?
She did well on the gifts that I gave her.
Okay.
But I did well, too, because I actually got, a toy for Christmas I immediately turned into a 10-year-old and was...
Yes.
I got
I saw you talking about the picture you sent me?
Yeah. I got it.
We're going to put that on the website, by the way.
Yeah, I got an airsoft pistol.
Yeah.
That shoots with CO2 cartridges and shoots BBs.
And how appropriate is a BB gun for Christmas when one of my favorite Christmas movies airs all day, and it's about a kid trying to get a BB gun?
I got to you
Don't shoot your eye out, kid.
I literally, without thinking, I put it all together, ran outside, and just I had my sweatpants on and no shoes.
Right.
Different than growing up in Michigan.
Ralphie, get your coat.
Those things shoot. Ever shot one? Those things shoot.
Not the handgun.
Really far.
You got a handgun.
So then I bought pie tins. And I set them up around my backyard in the weeds and in the trees. And then I ran around and cleared levels. And then I got this other book called Weapons of Mass Destruction, but it's for kids.
Oh, wow. That
shows you how to build, spit-wad shooters out of Tic Tac, all this MacGyver type, mostly spit-wad shooters or straws you blow with rubber stuff on the end like darts.
Nice. I used to make darts because, we both had our ninja phases when we were growing up. And you'd learn that if you listen to past episodes of Heffron and Reep. Yes. And I had a buddy who taught me how to make the perfect dart.
Right.
Okay. You take the end of a shoestring. You know how it's got the little plastic part?
Yeah.
And you cut it off just so there's a little bit of the shoestring coming out where it's like a frayed at the end. And then you put a safety pin, not a safety pin, but a pin through that so it comes out the part of the plastic. So you got a sharp end, a little plastic, and you got a frayed end at the back, and that's your dart. You can shoot that through a straw, and it hurts.
Yeah, this whole book is nothing but stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Like Tic Tac containers where you shoot, and then watches you make. You're MacGyvering stuff. You need glue guns, but it's
right.
There's such a bad stigma now with weapons, but it's pretty crafty type. So one of the chapters in it was targets, like how to build. Now that you have a spitwad shooter, how to make a cool target to shoot. And one of them was shoot out security cams, and it was a shoebox, and then they took a red Solo cup, and then you glued the red Solo cup to the shoebox, and then you get wax paper. And put that on the front of the Solo cup.
Did you have wax paper just laying
with
around?
a rubber band?
Yeah, okay.
I used tinfoil and everything. So I got a shoebox, and then I tinfoiled it.
Yeah.
Because I want the dink. I want the noise.
It looks better, too.
And then I got a Solo cup, put that on the front. So it looks like an old school camera.
Folks, we're going to put this on heffronandreep.com.
And then I put tinfoil on the front of it. And then I mounted the fake cameras all along my house and up in trees. So to shoot out the fake camera, you had to hit dead center of the solo cup front. That looks like it's the camera.
Now, how many guns were there?
I only got one.
So it was just you by yourself out there shooting.
I'm literally in my 40s running around, hiding behind walls, shooting out cameras.
Were you saying, "Okay, Black Bart, now you get yours"?
I could, because that's how I used to play as a kid. I would have scenarios, and you act out stuff. And if your mom came in, it was like time to eat. You're like, I was almost gonna defuse the nuclear bomb.
The world's gonna end. It's your fault, Mom.
And then you got to stop. It just sucks.
Yeah. Well, that looked like a lot of fun, though.
Dude, I had a great time. Like I sat out there. And
is that something you wanted? Did you ask for that?
No.
And your wife got you that?
Yeah.
What a great gift. She knows her husband.
It was fun. And like today I was like, I can set up this because the gun weighs as much as a real gun does. So it's good for, without the recoil, but it's
what then I was thinking BBs?
It shoots these little BBs. It's airsoft. We used to use
plastic
them
BBs, you said?
Yeah, we used to use them in Krav when you do gun takeaways.
Krav Maga for those.
Yeah, and you do, gun defense where the person would pull. So if you could see, you wear goggles, but you could see if you did the defense correctly because you wouldn't be hit.
You wouldn't get hit.
So they're pretty realistic. But it's fun to shoot out the fake cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, now that I know,
it shoots, is it you don't pump it? You use a CO2 cartridge.
CO2, so it shoots,
and that goes a long way.
Yeah, I was hitting. I bought pie tins because I wanted it to make the noise.
Yeah. I used to have
50 yards away. Probably I was.
That's
hitting
pretty
that thing.
good. 50 yards,
dude, and it would puncture like
with that little handgun.
That thing would hurt you, so it would.
Wow, that's
definitely go through skin. Yeah,
that's pretty good. 50 yards.
I used to play paintball a lot.
Plastic ones too. You'd think that would just sort of die down.
No,
plastic ones. Well, you told me on the way here. A good idea would be use seeds if you wanted to.
Yeah, they need to make them where it's like fertilizer, maybe just like a little bit of plant fertilizer. So when you do shoot and then it lands in the ground, the first rain.
Yeah, you're gonna get some weed.
I wonder if you could
whatever it is.
Yeah, could you compress seeds? Yeah, I'm sure you could
make a pellet that's all seeds, or even something that like animals could eat. Like tiny little
type of feed
or some feed or something.
We
That's
should
a pretty
invent
good idea.
that.
Yeah.
I thought of that, inventing that. Well, I'm afraid to tell this one because somebody's going to steal it.
Oh, gosh. Well, okay, here we go. Copyright. This next story is copywritten by John Heffron. John Heffron.
Well, maybe we make it and put on the website.
What do you mean? You tell a story on the website? You type it out?
No, I think we should invent this.
Oh, okay. I don't know what it is yet.
Or should I just tell you?
I don't know. It's up to you. We could always stop this and start over.
Nah, maybe I should just tell you. Maybe I won't.
Well,
I'm not going to.
Okay, don't tell me.
I'm not going to.
All right. Well, I got a great story that I can't tell you.
Oh.
Just kidding.
And then I had an odd conversation with my dad. I'll tell you this before I end my holiday stuff. We got my dad.
You stayed in L.A.
I stayed in L.A.
Okay.
And then my parents back in Michigan, my sister and I and my brother got them all iPad minis.
Nice.
My parents. And then, but they're,
Did you know how to use them?
Not really, but, you just touch a couple things.
Yeah, it should be pretty.
And for the most part, we wanted to use them for FaceTime.
Okay. And did they get it set up? Were you able
My
to use it
sister
for
set up
FaceTime?
everything. She had that job. She loaded all their emails in and got iTunes accounts.
That's funny.
All that
Make her
kind
do
of
the leg work. You just get the thing.
So then I was explaining to my dad, but I didn't realize what I was saying, and then everyone in my house was laughing at me. I'm talking to my dad on FaceTime, and I told him, Dad, when you're FaceTiming, here's another thing you can do. And I'm looking at my dad's face that's up in the square.
Yeah.
I go, when you're FaceTiming with somebody, here's what you can do. You can touch yourself.
Yeah.
And I meant like you just go up and you touch the face and you can move it to a different part of the screen.
Right.
But how I was talking, apparently I was telling my dad he can touch himself.
And does he have a sense of humor? Did he?
He completely, me and him were the only ones who weren't laughing. Oh, the 18-year-olds.
Oh, right.
Everybody got, but we're just.
Because you were
we're usually pretty juvenile. That one just happened to
just slip past you.
So it was a great Christmas.
Well, I used to have a BB gun when I was a kid, man, and we would have BB gun wars, where it's just like everyone dresses up in camo and stuff. And
you're like, only pump it once.
Yeah, pump the crap
okay.
out of it. We actually had a couple construction workers one time, and they thought they were getting stung by bees. It was like really funny because they kept like looking around, swatting the air.
You were shooting at them?
Yeah. We hit like a construction worker in the back of the leg.
They would have killed you.
I know.
Think how small you were at the time.
I know. They would, if they would have known it.
And then they were probably 25-year-old Mexican dudes.
These were like redneck guys.
But
just as bad.
But in their 20s, though.
Yeah.
You thought they were old, just old.
Yeah, probably like 25,
probably
26,
20.
Yeah. Don't know better not to kill a kid.
Yeah.
Probably would have chased us down and killed us, yes. So I'm glad I didn't get caught. But those can be a lot of fun. A good gift.
Good gift. And
what did you give your wife?
And then I got her an iPad mini myself.
Okay.
And then she's always wanted a bike.
A bicycle?
Like a bike.
Oh, yeah, like a pedaling bicycle.
And she's never gotten a bike.
And you got her a bike.
And I got her a bike.
What kind of bike?
Is
it like a mountain bike?
A mixture. A Trek.
Yeah.
Just kind of in between her.
We got 2 of those. We've used them twice.
I know. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah. I want to use them, but, my wife's so concerned that I won't wear a helmet that if I go somewhere without it, she'll be nervous.
I think you almost have to now.
Yeah, it's funny. John Caparillo used to live over here, right? Where I live. And look, I was looking at this bicycle like, well, I'm going to be practical about it. I'm going to use it for exercise.
Right.
But I'm also going to use it. There's a market right up the street. There'll be times I want to run up to the market and get a couple things and come back. So, I got a basket. Okay, so I'm riding around my complex with this basket on my bicycle. I'm wearing a helmet, and I come around a corner, and John Caparillo is standing there. And he looks at me, and he just starts shaking his hand. He's going to say, I'm going to pretend. Shaking his head like, no. And he said, I'm going to pretend I never saw this. He just
a basket, I think a basket's kind of pushing it over the edge.
Yeah, but, really, I just needed to put stuff.
Yo, it's practical, but
it's not manly. I get it. Neither is the helmet. Come on. When we grew up, we were on big wheels with just our bathing suit on, riding around. No shoes, no helmet, nothing.
Yeah, the basket's a little bit much.
It is. Well, it's practical. That's how I looked at it. That's how I convinced myself that it was okay. I didn't mean for Caparillo to see me or anyone for that matter. I didn't think I'd ever tell anybody, but now it's out there.
No, you know.
All right, so
now a basket.
Well, that's cool. That got her bicycle. Do you have a bicycle too? You gonna ride together?
No, we just got one. I was gonna get one, but then
what about a 2-seater? Could have got a 2-seater.
All right. Could you imagine the arguments that would happen with the 2-seater?
Have you ever been on one of those things?
I think I would divorce my wife because I think she would we would be the couple that crashes because we could not be in unison or get our teamwork together.
Oh, same here. Yeah,
it'd be a nightmare. She would be going. I would want to turn right. She'd want to turn left.
I think how it is whoever's in front is steering.
Yeah, but I would lean the opposite way because it wouldn't work out.
You'd pedal backwards.
Yeah, I would put on the brakes. It would be tough.
We should actually do that. Me and you get like a 2-seater bicycle and do a photo shoot with that for the podcast. We'll get a 3-seater and call up Rachel, see if she wants to be on there with us.
Yeah, you know what? I miss Rachel. She texted me.
She texted me and said, Merry
she's
Christmas.
in New Jersey.
Is she in New Jersey?
And she's in New Jersey we're talking about Rachel Butera.
Yeah.
Who just disappeared.
Yeah.
We got busy, then she disappeared, but she'll be back.
Well, we'll get back with her, yeah.
She's gone for a few weeks, and she said she misses us.
Dude, I went up to off topic here. I went to New York. Have you ever been flown somewhere for just an audition?
Way back in the day.
Yeah. I haven't done that one yet.
I've had people fly to me
to audition you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even
is even
That's better.
But not flown for. Yeah. I mean, I have.
Let me just tell you something, man. I had the worst. And this might be up there with some of the bad. We as comedians, we both have nightmares of traveling, right?
Right.
Over the course of many years.
Sure, it's just going to happen.
Bad things have happened.
Yeah.
I bet you this story might be up there,
all time,
topping some of the all-time worst travel stories. Okay, so I had to fly to New York to audition as a host of a show that the Food Network's coming out with. So long story short, my wife's family, her mother and father, are here for the holidays,
right?
Christmas, and also she was in a ballet recital that they wanted to come watch.
Right.
Now that was on a Sunday night. Am I right? Yes, Sunday night. And then I got a call or an email Saturday saying we want you to audition for this thing. It's in New York, and they'll fly you out there and fly you back. Now, our plans before this was that the family, her parents, would be here for a couple of days, watch the ballet recital. Then that's on Sunday. Then on Monday, Tuesday, we would all leave together to go to their place in Missouri.
Gotcha.
But then, out of nowhere, I get this audition, which throws a big monkey wrench in the whole travel plan.
They always do.
Because
you always sit on the couch doing nothing for weeks, and then when you go, you know what? I'm going to have a carpet guy come, and it's all carpet. And then that's when your agents come and go, hey, we got an audition for you for America's Funniest, elephant trainers. Will you,
exactly.
Will you go there?
Yeah. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. You have to go.
Yeah.
And by the way, I haven't told you yet, but the audition's exactly when the carpet people are coming.
Do you have any khaki pants and khaki tops and a hat? Yeah, I got it all. So that's, and to top it off, we have 2 small dogs that had already purchased, had approved with American Airlines that we were going to fly with our dogs as carry-ons, okay? Because they're small enough to fit under the seat in front of us, and we've been doing that for the last 7 years.
Right.
Okay. Now, monkey wrench. You got an audition in New York. So I go, all right, what's the best way to do it? They're going to fly me out there. I go, okay, you can fly me out on Sunday night after the ballet recital.
Yeah, because if you miss that, then you.
I couldn't miss that.
Yeah, that's not even.
So I took a red eye
off the table, right?
Leaving at like 11:30 midnight or something like that from LAX to New York. Now, when they fly you somewhere, they're supposed to take care of your flight, your transportation, your hotel. I'm not supposed to lose money auditioning. Right, not like a per diem or anything, but like travel costs, So they bought the ticket. Now it's not like a working Screen Actors Guild thing. This is an audition, so of course it's coach. There's no, middle seat. It's like the worst tickets you can buy
on an airline. Now this is where people who are listening are going to think I'm being petty, but when you travel 500, days a week, which is almost impossible to do, but we do it.
It actually is impossible.
40 weeks a year. Is it on an airline that you normally travel on?
Yeah, American. Okay. Yeah, it was American Airlines.
Okay.
No, this was, but no, I'm talking to New York and back. That was Delta.
Okay.
I think. Doesn't matter. So that was fine.
Okay.
So we get to New York. Now they arranged for a car to pick me up.
Right.
From my house, that's part of the deal.
Okay.
They pick me up. They take me to LAX. Get on a flight. Fly to New York. In New York, there was supposed to be another guy with a car with a sign saying John Reep to take me to the hotel. Now, mind you, it was a red-eye flight, so I get into New York 7 a.m.
Right.
My audition is not till 6 p.m., so I had planned that daytime to actually sleep because I can't sleep. I can't get real sleep on a flight, like a red-eye flight. Like most people can just pass out. I can't do it,
Yeah.
Can you do it? Can you just pass out on a plane?
I can sleep immediately when I've trained myself.
Oh.
And then when I get on the plane and I'm trying to sleep, whatever noise would normally keep you up, I've trained myself through almost like a form of hypnosis to have those noises put me even deeper and deeper into sleep.
Wow, so you can use a baby screaming in your ear.
I focus on that baby. So if I hear a baby crying, instead of fighting it, I tell myself,
this is good.
And I breathe, and I have this breathing technique, and I go, each time I hear the baby cry, that reminds me that I'm more relaxed, and I'm sleeping, and I'm starting to fall, and I'll talk to myself like a creepy hypnotic guy in my brain. And then because the people who can't sleep are the people that are doing this when they hear the baby crying, are the ones that are like, this.
Right.
And they're so focused on the everything you do is to association. So now they've associated that baby crying with their life sucking.
Yes.
And I'm always on the baby side.
Yeah.
The babies, they're babies. Their ears can't regulate the pressure in their head.
I don't hate the baby. I hate the crying.
Yeah. So I start to fall asleep.
Right. Well, I can't sleep.
But the one person that keeps me up is I need to slam the overhead door really loud when I put my luggage in, guy.
Oh, I hate that.
Just the bam!
Loud as hell. And sometimes it's flight attendants that do that.
And then I had the guy, my last flight, he did that with the shade, slammed it so my head was against he slammed it that I did I got up and I just turned and I stared. And then he goes, is there a problem? I go, it was a little unnecessary how you slammed
have to slam it so hard.
Yeah.
Well, imagine all that happening on the flight. It didn't, but it makes the story better.
Okay, perfect.
I get to New York. Oh, my God. But that was...
Okay, so wait. So
is that
back
New York?
up.
Oh, God. I forgot a big major part. Thank God my wife is sitting here. What is it, John?
No, I was going to say, so to catch up, so you've left, you're on the flight.
I'm on the flight. I haven't left LAX yet.
Okay.
I'm on the flight.
Okay.
Luckily, I've got an aisle seat. It's
Okay.
a packed flight.
Right.
There's a dude sitting right across from me by himself.
Right.
And at some point, I don't know, I don't think he was drunk. I think he just was sick because it wasn't like he puked in his seat. And so...
You didn't grab the barf bag?
No, I didn't see it happen. I just smelled it and turned around and heard. I'm like, oh God! And so now we have to wait for them to clean it. So these two guys come on the plane and they got their orange vests and their mops and their bags and and all that stuff you got to put on puke. So
The
that
dust?
takes like.
Did they put did they use sawdust?
The third grader dust.
Did they use third grader dust on planes?
They used something. I don't know. It wasn't like a dust. They didn't vacuum. You know, the dust is for soaking up, and then I think mopping.
I would almost like to
they
smell
just
that
mopped
dust
it up,
again.
and they put a spray on it, or to get rid of the smell.
Right.
But it was funny. I took a picture of the dude who came. It was a Latino-looking Kenny Powers, and I'll put that on the website. Who came and cleaned it up. So anyway, they cleaned it. That takes like 45 minutes to clean that stuff up. And
What'd the guy do?
He was just apologetic, and then so
Was he looking at everybody? I'm sorry.
no, he was just looking down.
I'm
He was
sorry.
just looking down. He couldn't even look at people in the face.
I had a woman puke on me once. He didn't even make eye contact with me after she did it.
Was this on a plane?
Yeah, she puked behind me. She projectile vomited, so my head's against the window. She threw up straight, so it hit the side, and I'll never, to this day, I can't eat chicken noodle soup because that's what hit the side of me.
Oh, no.
And so I look, and I have it all over my hair.
Oh.
It's all against the wall, and the flight attendant goes, "Oh, did she get you?" And I go, "Yeah." And then the flight attendant started, making cookies. She didn't even bring me towels or anything. So I had to get up, go into the bathroom, and almost take a shower. But anyway, that's not my story. It's yours.
No,
so
no,
we're on the
but,
flight.
well, see, that's I
Got
started
puked.
this conversation with I might have a better disastrous story of traveling than you, and already you got puked on and I haven't. So you're winning.
It's okay. So
but there's more.
All right, perfect.
At least I didn't get puked on.
Right.
But I kind of felt bad for this guy because after he puked and they cleaned it up, the flight attendant came back over. She goes, "Are you sure you're okay? It's a long flight. We could put you on a later flight. If you're sick, you shouldn't be traveling." Blah, blah. He goes, "No, I'm fine. Can you just give me a bag, like a barf bag?" I guess he didn't have one. So she came back with a bag, and it wasn't a barf bag, the tiny ones. It was like a grocery-sized bag that she gave him. And sure enough, we're getting ready to take off, and I look over, I hear all into the
Garble.
bag. It was bad.
How would you like to be the
Kinda puke
person
where
that's
he kinda
sitting
talked
next
through
to
it.
him?
No, he had the whole road himself.
As you should.
Yeah, no one wanted to sit next to that guy. So anyway, that was leaving LAX. Now, we travel 5 hours. From LAX to New York is a long flight. It's like 7 in the morning. I haven't slept. I've been dealing with puke air the whole time.
Oh, my God.
Puke air, It's recycled.
I would have made that guy tell me you were out partying the whole night, because I could almost handle you throwing up because you drank too much than if you have some crazy chicken flu, Ebola type stuff that is getting through the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's.
I would rather if you told me that you go, I had 7 shots of Jaeger, I ate 4 corn dogs, I would you're sick because of bad decisions, not because you have AIDS.
Right. But you can smell in the air, that puke smell, if there's alcohol involved. You can go, "Oh, that's that's Jägermeister," but there was none of that in the air. It was just a regular puke. It was bad.
Right.
So we get to New York, and it's 7 in the morning, 7:30, and I'm just tired. I just need, and I'm nervous about this audition. I want to make sure I'm well rested and I do good. So I'm nervous about just getting to the hotel. All I want to do is get to the hotel, take a nap. Get to New York, go down there. I don't see any dude with a sign waiting on me. I'm looking around. There's other people with signs. Nothing with my name on it. I'm going, okay, here we go with this. So now I got to pull up my phone and go through all the emails to find the right number to call to make sure, well, where's my car?
Right.
And so I got the number to the car service. I called them. And I gave them my name and my reservation number. And she's like, oh, yeah, because my flight was delayed. We're out of cars. Was what I got. We're out of cars. We don't have a car. Really? In New York City, there's not an extra car? she said, it'll be like another hour. I'm like, nah, not going to happen. I'm getting a cab. So I bite the bullet. I just get in a cab.
Right.
I know where I'm going. So I get in a cab. And my cab driver was, like most New York cab drivers, was not from the Midwest.
Right.
He was not.
Mid-East.
Yeah, the Mid-East.
He was Mid-Eastern.
Yeah. And he wanted to tell me that all he wanted to talk about was the greatest sitar player that ever lived.
Guitar player?
Sitar. A sitar, not a guitar. You know, the sitar.
Is that different than a keytar?
I don't know what a keytar is.
Keytar is those 80s, is like the piano.
No, sitar is a big Indian style type thing. You know, is in every like Middle Eastern Indian song is a sitar in there somewhere. Apparently, it's very hard to play. Anyway, he talked about that for the whole ride. That ride in New York at that hour traffic time going from JFK to Soho is about 45 minutes. Okay. Get to the hotel. Now the street that he drops me off on is a one-way street. So he's like, "Oh, do you mind just walking? It's right there. See the hotel?
It's just right there. It's right there.
You can see it. It's right there." I'm like, "Oh, fine," because it's going to take another 15 minutes to circle around to the front. I was like, "Great idea. Get me out of the cab. I need to get to the hotel." So I pay the guy, and I run to the hotel. It's freezing. The wind's blowing. I don't have my jacket on, and I just tough it. I get to the hotel, and I'm ready to check in. And I go, "Yeah, I'm here. Reep, last name." They're like, "Oh, yeah, we canceled your reservation."
Oh my God!
Like, you got to be.
Nothing's worse.
This is like Trains, Planes, and Automobiles at this point with Steve Martin and John Candy. I'm like, I want a fucking room right fucking now.
Yeah.
You're fucked. That scene is what was going through my mind, but it wasn't a car; it was a hotel room.
Right.
And so, but the lady, I was like, well, what do you mean? What happened? What? I said the whole reason that they booked 2 nights was because they knew
I
I
was
was
doing
going
it
to
the night
get
before,
here.
so you don't have to wait till 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Because most check-ins are 3 in the afternoon.
Right.
And I'm there at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. at this point. And she goes, "Oh, no, but because you didn't show up last night, that's a no-show, and we cancel the whole reservation." Now, the people who booked the reservation should have told us that you were coming in, as an early check-in as opposed to a check-in the night before. Long story short, I said, listen. I don't care about all that. Do you have a room?
Yeah.
She's like, yes. I said, put me in that room. And
Right.
here's my credit card. Again, I'm paying for something out of my pocket. I paid for the cab ride there. Now I'm paying for the hotel room on my credit card. And I actually said it like this. I was like, what is the most expensive room you have? Put me in that, because now I'm pissed off at this company who didn't, do the reservation right, and now I got to worry about this.
Right.
They're going to reimburse me either way. So I was looking for the most expensive room. Long story short, I got in a room, and it was right next to the elevator, of course. And all I wanted to do was sleep. I managed to get some sleep. Woke up around 3, rehearsed for my audition for this hosting gig.
A lot of lines.
Just a paragraph of an opening thing that, like, hey, you're watching so-and-so, and we're doing this, we're going across the country, and we're looking for this, and blah, blah, blah. Let's go in here and check this out. That whole thing.
Right.
Which I had down pat, and then once I got there, totally flubbed it.
That always happens. I wish they could audition you, like, in the shower. I have some of my best auditions, like, in the shower.
Yeah. We should just, there should be a we got that GoPro now, so maybe we'll put a GoPro camera in our shower.
Or maybe I have the best audition because I know... I'm doing the lines, and then after I kind of go through rehearsal, I'm probably going to grab the Pert Plus and go to town. You know what I mean? So maybe I'm just excited about what's going to happen after.
You mean really wash your hair vigorously?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I thought so.
Maybe that's what I need to start doing when I do auditions, is to realize I'm going to grab the Pert Plus immediately.
You should just take that in there with you.
Maybe even down in the where I parked my car.
Well, you're pretty good at tricking your brain into stuff. Maybe you should, when you go into the audition, just go ahead and have the bottle of Pert Plus there with you.
Maybe the smell. Maybe I need to smell Pert Plus.
Yeah.
As a kind of to kind of the golftery, whatever it's called. So I
could
smell
see a
it.
Like, why is we're here auditioning?
And he seems really excited every time he comes
for a
in.
hosting gig, and why almost, the Pert Plus? I don't understand why he has the Pert Plus with him. Whatever, it works. So anyway, the audition was mediocre, and then I saw another buddy who they flew there, Zach. My buddy Zach, who came in and does a funny song, Zach Selwyn. He was there auditioning for the same thing.
So you guys could have flown all together.
And then we could have, but so now instead of here's where it gets weird. Okay, the travel story's not over.
Okay.
Now I could have went straight from New York after this audition. I left that night, by the way.
Right. So in your hotel
the
for
latest flight out that night.
Half a day you're in your hotel.
Yeah. So I thought, well, do I want to fly back to to LAX, or do I want to fly straight to St. Louis to meet up with the family? Because remember, we were all flying from LAX to St. Louis together, but now I have
did you bring all your stuff?
No, because what I did was I said, well, because we're traveling with dogs and in-laws, let me just go back to LAX. I'll have 12 hours to shuffle things around in the suitcase, and then I will travel with everyone else from LAX to St. Louis.
Okay.
So I went from LAX to St. Louis. LAX to New York, New York back to LAX, LAX to St. Louis within, 36 hours or something crazy like that.
Awesome.
Lots of frequent flyer miles, so that's good.
Yeah.
Now, here's where it gets crazy. Now, we're going from LAX with the family, 2 dogs, traveling to St. Louis. We check in, and the lady goes, "Oh, you got pets? Oh, that wasn't on the reservation." I was like, "Well, I called twice, by the way. I did." And she's like, "No, we don't have it on here." Well, let me see the dogs. So we put our dogs up on the little where you
guys, did you look at them and go, act small? Act small.
And they go, "Oh, those dogs are too big for that case. They can't. They have to be able to." She told us they have to be able to stand up inside of there, which they can do, but their backs are kind of touching the top. But what we have always been told was that they have to be able to turn around inside of the thing.
Right.
Which they can totally do. But because, our dogs are not trained to stand up in there, they wouldn't really stand up. Because they get in there, they get comfortable, they lay down. That's what they do.
Right.
So we couldn't really get them to stand up. So the lady was like, yeah, it's, hang on, let me get my manager. She walks off, gets another lady, comes over, goes, yeah, they can't stand up, they can't fly. Just matter of fact, just cold.
Oh, my God.
Not like, I'm so sorry,
Listen, I know it's the holidays and this is thing, you know what?
Yeah. They just changed the policy, this whole thing that they're giving us, So, I mean, it was a clusterfuck because we got these 2 dogs, and now they're telling us we can't fly with the dogs, which we've been doing for 7 years.
Right.
And they've lost weight because they're eating healthier now. They've actually lost weight. They're smaller than they were 7 years ago.
Yes, it's always funny when you're talking about dogs and the dogs are laying there sleeping. The dogs know you're talking about them because all dogs do that eye thing where their eyes kind of go up.
Yeah, their eyebrows.
They're like, I think I heard my name a couple times.
Right.
I'm just going to listen. I'm going to listen to see if I hear my name and the word food.
Right.
If I hear the word walk, food, or treat, then I'm going to get up. But in the meantime, I'm just going to lay
You
here.
did say the T word, and then Brutus's eyeballs just both
that's
did
me.
that.
They always just kind of...
Yeah. So she's like, I'm sorry, you can't fly with these dogs. And she's like, well, you could check them. And Jenna goes, no, they will die. I'm not checking my dogs. You will kill them. I know what happens with this airline, because that's happened before. And some airlines, they've been on the tarmac
Can
a
you
long
guys
time.
get emotional, Eliza Schlesinger?
Wait, I'm getting there.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Because this has to do with that a little bit.
Okay.
So now she's like, you can't fly, and Genta's upset. I'm upset. Your dad's upset. We're all barking at this lady. What about this? What about this? What about this? And
by the way, you're the 100 people that have barked at her today.
Exactly.
Right.
And so once that happens, the glass wall comes down.
Yeah.
All she's face down in the computer, hitting keys, going like, I'll get you on the next flight. I'll get you on the next flight. She's just already made up her mind what is going to happen.
Yeah.
So the parents fly without us. We have to call for our ride to come back and pick us up, take us back home to put the dogs up in boarding, all right, which is more money, and then come back to the airport on a later flight, all right, to fly later on. Now, the moral of this story is, and again, if you go back and listen to past episodes, check out the one with Eliza. Heffronandreep.com. Check out the one we did with Eliza.
It's called 315 to Yuma.
310 to Yuma.
310 to Yuma.
Yeah, based on the movie. But Eliza flies with her dog, Blanche, all the time because it's
non-stop.
Also a part of her act. That she so cleverly wrote in there so she could, write that off.
She did that all on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, she needs it to fly because it's a service dog.
Service dog. What does she use?
Emotional.
Yeah, she got it for, she needs
emotional
Blanche for emotional,
like that.
Emotional support.
Yeah. So now what American Airlines has taught me is to be dishonest with them. Because trying to be honest...
We're not saying that Eliza and Blanche aren't emotionally tied to each
I'm
other.
not saying that's not a true thing for them.
Right.
But I know for a fact that there are people out there.
Right.
It's like saying I need a medical marijuana license because I'm depressed.
As people do. Sometimes you get depressed.
You just want to get high. Come on.
Right.
So this is the equivalent of that with dogs. Is now we're going to have to We're gonna find. We're gonna make our dogs service dogs because what American Airlines has taught us is to not be 100% honest with them. We would have paid them extra $400 in travel fees to have these dogs. Now they're losing that money because next time we fly, they're going to be service dogs, which is way cheaper, and they get to sit on your lap on the flight.
Does he get to wear those cool vests?
Who did? Yeah, American Airlines caused the stress. So now we are stressed out, and we have to make our dogs service dogs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was a couple behind us that had a dog, and they saw what was going on with us, and they went to another person.
That's a good call from them. They're like, listen.
Smart for them. But, yeah, we sat there and watched them. You know, like I was like, well, here's the thing. I don't want to piss on her parade.
Yeah, you can't go, but what about them?
Yeah, look at them.
Then you're being douchey.
Then you're just being mean to that person who has a dog. Genta was ready to, though. I was like, no, we got to get a ride.
I wonder do you think it's harder? Because you obviously need, because I've seen when these dogs aren't around you guys, you guys change your personalities. You can't be around. These dogs are a necessity.
That's right.
For you to travel. It calms her down.
We're going to have to get a vest for these dogs now.
What do you think is harder to get, a vest for a dog or a 420 card?
I think, because I've had experience with one of those, I'm thinking that the vest for the dog will be more difficult because I don't know where to start. I mean, we kind of do. We have friends that, like I called Eliza, I texted Eliza, and I asked her, like, how did this happen? And she told me what her case was. And so I'm going to, pursue that angle. But we also have a friend.
Can you guys get one where you go, if we don't have our dogs, we fight?
Right.
Like,
we're
if you can make
to be
up
around
an ailment,
you
should be like the first one, and then everyone can get the... Oh, it's part of the Reep clause.
It's like the...
you guys have an ailment, and but you name it like... Oh, yeah, we have the Reeps.
It's almost like the opposite of a restraining order.
Yeah, we need the dogs to keep us bonded.
Within 50 feet of us at all times, or we will scream our heads off in public and cause a scene.
Yeah.
So that was our horrible 36 hours of traveling. But
that is tough to do.
We had to do it without the dog. But yeah, that's what we've learned from this is get our dog certified as some sort of service dog. I don't know what my ailment's going to be.
Well, what thing are that?
There are things.
If anybody listening,
maybe you can go to heffronandreep.com where it says and click on Ask a Question for.
We also have the voicemail thing. You can just leave a voicemail.
That's right.
Of what ailments, if you have any suggestions.
If you have any great ideas for me, please leave a voicemail. We'd love to hear it. And if it's good, we'll play it on the podcast.
You know what? Should I tell you this story? Should I save it for the next one? How much time can go over?
Have I gone? I feel like I've hogged up a lot of that with that.
No, but it was a good story. We learned a little bit about the personal John Reep and what it takes. You know what I mean? A lot of people just see you on stage doing your comedy and they don't realize.
Yeah.
As comics, sometimes you have to shake off that really shitty day and get on stage.
That's true.
So,
and I got some new shoes for Christmas that I can't wait to wear.
I saw them.
You've only saw one pair. I got 3 pair.
Look at you. It's like you're baller. I'll tell you my story. It's okay for us to go because it's now that we're a podcast network of one, we can do whatever we want.
That's true.
We'll give people a little bonus.
There you go.
Because I'm going through a thing with my wife where my wife actually told me that I can't do something.
Okay.
Like flat out said that I can't do something, and it's bothering me.
Yeah.
But if I do it, I don't know. Out of spite, am I going to get myself in trouble just to show her when I will be at? Does that make sense? Well, here's the deal. Okay, so let me back up the story. I used to do morning radio, and I've told the story before, so I won't make it really long-winded. But I used to do morning radio with Danny Bonaducci maybe 15 years ago. All these key elements are going to play a key.
Okay.
15 years ago, I did radio with Bonaducci.
Yeah.
We got in a fight where Bonaducci gave me a concussion.
Like a real fist fight?
Yeah, after I left the studio, I bought a VCR, and the girl I was dating at the time said, "Why'd you buy a VCR?" And I said, "I didn't." And she said, "Yeah, you did." And there's a VCR there from Best Buy, and there's my signature on the credit card. So he hit me. I got a concussion. I drove home, bought a VCR, had no idea I did any of this.
Wow.
And this is back in the 90s when people bought DVD players. So he actually hit me backwards in technology.
My mom used to say, "I'm going to knock you to next week," but he actually knocked you to
we
last
went back
10 years.
One play. So
wow, that's crazy.
Then Danny got me into fighting. He bought me all the gear and sparring stuff, and then I got.
Was your fight that happened with the concussion? Was it a real fight?
I was protecting our producer because Bonaducci was trying to kill him as we interviewed Janet Jackson.
So you took a hit for the producer.
Yeah, it was. I got hit right in the back of the head, pretty hard. Bonaducci writes about in his biography. We're friends and stuff like that. So I was talking to now. Fast forward to now. I was talking to a friend of mine who. He has some sponsors that are interested in sponsoring our podcast. So we were just asking how that was going. And I was having that conversation with him, and he likes the fact that we're clean. We talk about adult stuff, but we're not. Because that's a weird thing about podcasts. If you're get super dirty, then some, if you want to do it for sponsors, we're not really doing it for sponsors. But you know what I mean. So I'm just having that conversation.
Sure.
And he said there's this guy who owns this rehab center, but he wants to do some positive stuff, so he wanted to use Bonaducci.
Okay.
Whatever. And then this guy asked me, matter of factly, he goes, "Would you ever fight Bonaducci?"
Oh.
So he goes, "Would you fight Danny Bonaducci?" And he goes, "For charity or something?" I go, "One, me and Danny aren't famous enough for anybody to give a shit."
Right.
Literally, for whatever. He goes, "No, but for just a video, would you spar Danny and do some live rounds, and this guy would edit it and do a thing, but you guys would have to fight.
Okay.
But it would be for this thing. Would you do it?" So then I brought that up to my wife.
Was there a payment involved?
Yes, but there's something small, just just kind of like a
Right.
something dumb for me not to have to go to wherever I'm going.
Right.
And my wife said, "I don't want you fighting Bonaducci."
Okay.
Because Danny has that thing inside him where he would try to kill you.
Right.
Which is completely true, and I would say that if Bonaducci was sitting across from me, Danny, if me and you sparred,
snaps.
if me and you had boxing gloves and we're going to work out and spar, I have a thing in my head that goes, John's got to perform. I really get no benefit from hitting him as hard as I could, and you almost let's go 40%, and then you play at 40%. That's when you spar people. You want to spar with safely with people who won't suddenly go, "Oh, here's an open shot.
Right.
Let me try to knock him on his ass."
Okay.
Danny doesn't have that filter.
I know a guy like that, yeah.
Right? So, even if we sparred and it was all in good fun, at one moment during the sparring thing, some weird switch would flip in his head, and then he would try to kill you.
Especially if you got a good jab or shot
He would
on him.
try, but hands down, Bonaducci would try to kill you if you were sparring. He would try to hit you so hard that you die, and then maybe there'd be a blog or a news article saying Danny Bonaducci killed somebody while he was sparring. That was the greatest story Danny could have.
Okay,
and
right.
And he knows that about himself.
Brutus
The
and Ruby, our
dogs know
do
that
not
about themselves.
Yeah, they don't like Bonaducci at all.
They're feeling the energy. So I was telling my wife, but so she almost forbid me to spar him.
Okay.
So that's the dilemma. So now my dilemma, I go, you can't tell me not to do something.
Yeah.
Or can she on this thing? She's like, "No, he would try to kill you." And then I'm like, it's like every Rocky movie. That's why Rocky gets his ass kicked until Adrian, every movie she says, "Okay, I told you not to fight him, but now you go fight him and beat his ass." And then he goes and beats the guy's ass.
Right.
Where if Adrian would have said, "Yeah, go beat his ass," he would have missed all the ass kicking.
Yeah.
Right?
You think he would have
Rocky. The only thing that ever held Rocky back was his wife saying, "Don't fight."
and then, but then she would say, "Go fight at the end."
After he got beat up way bad. There was always that moment.
I see. So,
well, if she would have said, "Yeah, go beat his ass," then we could maybe buy a second home. Rocky would have went, kicked the people's ass,
right.
and then not had to always have that first fight of him getting killed.
Yes.
So then in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, I'm 15 years older than when Danny knocked me out.
Right.
I'm bigger.
So is he.
True. I'm bigger. So is he.
He's bigger?
Yeah, I mean, when I worked with Danny, he wasn't roided or anything like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
So now
He was just
he's
angry.
way stronger.
Yeah.
15 years more angrier.
Right.
He's had a divorce since then. He probably had to give up some money in his divorce.
Fueling the fire.
Yeah. So now, not that I was actually would fight him or that even came up or nobody would care. Yeah. Now it's just that now it all boils down to the act of my wife said,
No.
I don't want you fighting.
Well,
So then in my head, I'm thinking, even if you made $1,
Yeah.
now you're stopping me from making money.
right. Well,
So now it becomes
it sounds to me what she's saying is I don't want you to. It doesn't sound like she's saying I forbid you. Did she actually say no? You can't.
no.
I
She says,
forbid it?
as the wife, I'm going to put a kibosh on this and say no. You will not be
Okay.
fighting Daddy.
Well,
Long
I
Leash.
know as a married man with my wife in the room looking at me.
But here's the deal: if I go, no, I'm going to fight him.
Yeah.
He's probably would kill me. Even though in my head I'm thinking,
yeah. Well,
but he would kill me,
But look,
and then I would be killed.
he's already gave you a concussion.
I would be killed proving to my wife that I could do it. Is the only, and then
So
then
now
I'm
it's like
lose. Now
so
I'm
you
killed.
already know. You're already basically on your wife's side. You're already saying to yourself, "This is a dumb idea."
Yeah, or
But
now-
but
or
now
am I
she said,
that-
I forbid it. You're like, "Whoa, wait a second."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough call. Or are you now that guy, you know how like you're fighting and there's some guy holding you back and you know that guy's holding you back, so
Yeah.
you're a little bit more lippy?
Yeah, yeah.
I'd crush you.
Yeah.
I'd crush
well,
you.
There you go. You could do that. Just be a little bit more lippy in an email to him. Yeah. No, it sounds like she's just.
So what you look? Let's just go for the fun of it. I'm not we're not fighting. We're not. There's all a buddy just said that on the phone, but it's about his thing. Let's say your wife says, I don't want you fighting him, and you're going to get paid $1,000. Would you say no?
No to her, no to the fight.
No to the fight. Knowing all this stuff. Let's say
I would say
1,000.
I would have to say no to the fight.
And let's make it a Friday night where you couldn't work a week. You know what I mean? A week at your thing. So let's just put it. It's prime real estate.
$1,000 not enough.
So I'm going to say no. What about
fighting-
$3,000?
No, you're gonna have to go past 10.
Go $5,000. $5,000.
No.
3 minutes of work.
No. Well, listen, my wife.
6,500.
You don't understand. This is not a normal wife we're talking about. We're talking about my wife, who was a paramedic, who was an iron tissue harvester, who grew up in a funeral home, who's seen what death and injury does.
Okay,
to
but
people.
your
Her
wife told
first
you.
biggest thing in the world is safety first. She thinks I'm going to die every time I step out of the door.
As we could.
Just going to the mailbox, okay?
Okay, as we could.
So if I am going to go somewhere to fight, this is like...
Let's say she says no, though. She forbids you. She said the word, I forbid you.
Right.
It's Romeo and Juliet stuff. You will not talk to the Capulets. Is that even right?
Capulets, yeah.
Okay,
Close.
wow. I was just trying to be smart right
Yeah,
there. I
yeah.
could have went with a different
Not too
reference. $10,000.
And so for $10,000, I'm turning down $10,000.
Now,
for
the
3
people
minutes of
listening
fighting.
right now, if you're younger, you're like, dude, that's $10,000. But as a non-married guy, what you're not realizing is having to live with the person after you strictly did something they forbid. There's all this extra, or leading up to.
Right.
So $10,000.
But then it would have to have a serious conversation. Then I would say, honey, this is $10,000.
I've already
We can
said.
go to Hawaii. We can do all kinds of fun stuff with this money for the future. And it's just 3 minutes. I'll take a dive. Like I won't even I'll just fall down. Like I won't even try to fight.
Because you're not on mic.
Like I'll just pretend that I'm winded and fall
Because
down.
you're not on mic, you're just going to have to shake your head yes or no. And you heard the whole story. So if you're adamant about him not doing it, right? Or you could come. So he's adamant. Now he just said 10.
And I'm like, I'm trying to talk you into letting
he's trying-
your approval for this.
Because everybody has a price.
Oh,
You'd say more
wait.
money.
So it's okay.
So
if
it's
there's more
okay.
money. How much money would you? Millions. Okay, so there you go. So it's not.
But
gonna happen.
realistically, you're not going to get $1 million.
No, of course.
Because
that's
nobody-
why she's saying
nobody
$1 million.
cares.
Because
It's a
she doesn't
weird-
want it to happen.
$15,000.
15. No, she's shaking her head. No, not for no. She won't. I'm telling you, this is not a normal wife we're talking about. Other wives might say yes to this, but my wife will
$15,000
not.
is a lot of money.
It's a lot of
To have you just go in the ring and
Fall down.
and just fight a bigger guy. Let's just say, yeah, and you have headgear on but I spar every week with my buddies that try to kill me. Not try to kill me, but pretty hard every week
for free.
anyway. Yeah.
You pay them probably
$20,000.
$20,000, babe. Like she said, $1 million.
$20,000.
I need you for the future. I'm thinking ahead.
There's a lot of people right now listening that
So
would go.
basically, listen, what my wife has just said, this is important, is saying that I'm looking at this as you're going to walk in that ring, you're going to get hit in the face, and you're going to die. I need enough money to live on after you're dead.
You could turtle.
So that this doesn't affect me.
You could turtle your head.
That's what she's saying. Do you understand?
For $20,000, I'm starting.
But that's not enough for her to live on. After
I'm trying. At $20,000 for me, I'm in that area where I start to think about lying about it. Where I go, I'm going to the Funny Bone in Columbus, which I'm at, by the way.
Yeah, you're going to be at the Funny Bone.
I'm there January 17th
or
to the 20th.
Are you?
Or am I, Dave Stroop? Am I? Well, cancellation.
Maybe Bonaducci will be there, too.
And then you zip away for the weekend, and you fight, and you just hope. Now you're fighting for a couple things.
Yeah.
You're fighting to stay alive, and you're also fighting not to get any marks on your face, and you're going to leave with $20,000.
Yeah.
And then, do you come back?
Yeah.
And then tell your wife, listen,
here's what actually happened.
I fought. I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Go buy yourself something pretty.
She gets a phone call. You're in the hospital. And then not only is she upset that you're hurt, but now she's pissed that you lied to her.
You know what you do? I would love for you guys listening to go to heffronandreep.com. If you hit the leave us a message thing, we please tell us what you do. Because I would like, would be a perfect time if we were in a studio
feel like I can't really give you
where we take phone calls. I would like to hear, and we're just throwing out fake money, but just to show.
I'd love to hear from married guys.
Because everybody's going to say yes at the 20.
Single guys, their version of this.
Let me take back everything I just said. Let me scale down the money. Because $20,000 is life-changing. And we're going to get a lot of people that go, fuck you, I would do it.
Stupid, man. Yeah.
I need the money level to be at just that much where it's not going to do a lot, but yet it's still enticing.
Yeah.
So let's make it 30. I like the word 3,500.
3,500 sounds good.
Because 3,500, you're going against your wife, telling you not to do it.
Yeah.
But if you got it, you could buy something something nice. Maybe pay off a Best Buy credit card.
Right.
Maybe go to Home Depot, get a air compressor.
Yeah.
You could do some stuff with 3,500.
You get your dogs to be service dogs with that money.
So if you go to Heffron and Reep, click the voicemail message, and please just.
Yeah,
tell
I
us
want to hear
what
from
you would
married
do.
guys, and I'd like to hear from single guys. Now, I know every single guy is going to go, well, hell yeah.
Or do we not say 3,500, or do we stick with the 20?
No, 3,500.
Okay, because it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
We need to take phone calls. Maybe next year. That's what we got to start.
Well, there is
video.
Let me tell you this. I have an app that I have that you can record phone calls. So what I'll do is I'll call. Let's just say that I'm on the road and I want to talk to my buddy Rodney Carrington.
Right.
But I want to interview him for the podcast. I can just call him on my phone, hit record, and just have a whole conversation.
I want to start videoing this podcast for next year, but that's a whole other conversation.
Okay.
Right now, go to heffronandreep.com. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And also, it really helps if you rank us and just leave a comment.
Yeah.
I know you got busy lives, but that's what helps us. I got new life uniform shirts.
Oh, I saw it.
If you go to the heffronandreep.com and hit I don't know, let's say shop or store.
Yeah.
You'll see our stuff. We have CDs and stuff. But you'll also see the T-shirt, which I saw your belt buckle.
Yeah.
Is all of that on heffronandreep.com? It should be.
It should be. It will be by the time this airs.
Perfect. So if you go to shop, you'll see Reep's new stuff, and you'll see my life uniform shirt that's getting high praises by everybody.
Yes.
We always
I want one, by the way.
Well, I was going to bring you one.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to sell them this weekend.
Yeah. And I've got new equipment, by the way, for Christmas. We haven't even talked about. We're actually recording this podcast on my new professional podcasting equipment that my wife got me for Christmas. So no more will you hear from me on my part when I just do my own interviews with other comedians or whatever on the road. You're not going to hear this. I apologize for the low quality of this podcast. I now have the same equipment that Heffron has. So
there you go. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been the Heffron and Reep Show.
Bicycle.
Since you love the Heffron and Reep Show, please go to iTunes and let them know. Rank the show and leave a comment. We don't care what you write, you know. They Heffron and Reep have low self-esteem.